Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another apartment renovation. Today I'm renovating 1312 21 Chic Street in the fashion district of San Myshuno, and I was just honestly really in the mood to decorate an apartment. So I looked through my little list I have of build ideas to see if I could get some inspiration, and at some point in time I had written down to do an apartment for a photographer. So that is what we're doing here today. And I decided to build this in an apartment I really enjoy building in. This is the one that normally belongs to Penny Pizzazz. And I've done quite a few different layouts in here, and I was trying to do something different and also have everything you would need for some like workspace and lots of cameras around and make it cute and stylish and all of that. And plus use some new items from high school years because I'm still very excited about these items. But with that, I very much struggled with the floor plan. And since this was a build on the shorter side anyway, I decided to leave that in so you could see the whole process of me moving around the kitchen and the living room back and forth so many different times before I settled on a final layout, because I usually cut all of that stuff out. But I thought it might be interesting to see that it doesn't always come together so quickly. I just keep moving things around. And this is actually the layout we're going to go with in the end. I add a little wall on the end of the counter pieces though in the kitchen to kind of have that slightly more separated, and then I'm trying to figure out a table. And the color scheme in this apartment is heavily inspired by the swatch of this couch that is black, that has like a brown pillow and a blue blanket. So I have a lot of wood tones, a lot of blacks, a lot of blues, and we bring in some browns as well that aren't wood tones, just like some rugs and stuff like that. I thought it was a fun color scheme, and it's this like dark color scheme that I very much enjoy. I would love this space. So it was a lot of fun to build. I hope you will enjoy it. If you do and you'd like to download it, I will make sure to upload this apartment to the Sims 4 gallery. You should be able to find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi. Gryphi. You could also find it under the hashtag MissGryphi, and that information will also be in the description down below as well. Anyway, right now I'm just kind of bouncing around the apartment. As I get ideas, I'm placing them down. I have a coffee machine I actually placed in the kitchen. For some reason, I don't place those that often. I guess because I tend to build smaller spaces and we don't tend to have an extra counter to use for an appliance. And of course, my favorite cutting boards are in here. This is also a new rug from the high school years pack. I think it's really pretty with the moons on it, and just added a little bit of personality to the space. And then just getting some jars over on the counter as well. And then some curtains in here. I decided to use these blinds from my first pet stuff, and I used the bigger ones and scaled them down so they weren't so far down the window in a beige color to try and lighten up the kitchen a little bit, even though the whole space is fairly dark. And then I was really trying to figure out what I wanted to put on this wall behind the couch. I at first was like, okay, I want to grab some cameras and maybe we'll put them on display over there using the shelving unit from Island Living. And then I was not sure what, plant I wanted to put on the kitchen table. And then, through some experimenting and accidentally clicking on the wrong things a few times, I figure out what shelf I am going to put back there. But first we're figuring out what rug I wanted. I knew I wanted something like a brown color to lighten up the dark colors we have in this space. And I thought the geometric pattern of this one was perfect, especially because we have those like honeycomb tiles in the kitchen, and I end up using those in the bathroom as well. And so I thought going with some more shapes made the most sense in here, and I thought it looked pretty cohesive that way. So just grabbing a computer. I actually changed it a couple different times, but come back to that computer in the end. And this is where I was trying to grab a shelf from Island Living, but I accidentally select Eco Lifestyle. And I think this shelf works so much better. It's got a lot of like little framed photos on it already. Maybe those could be some images that this sim took and have on display, lots of plants. I just think it really worked for this space. I was happy with that decision. And then just scrolling forever, trying to find a picture to hang up on the wall that looks like a photograph, not like a painting or a poster. And it took me a long time, and what I ended up going with is one from Fitness Stuff, which is one of my favorites. I also ended up using this Myshuno painting as well. I put that over on the other wall, but up here above the computer desk I got this beautiful mountain picture from the fitness stuff pack, and then just getting some more clutter for the desktop. I believe I also add another camera over there, and I scale them up because they just look so much nicer. Because a lot of the items in the Sims are super chunky and like too big, but for some reason the cameras are tiny. So I decided to scale them up everywhere they appear in this apartment, just to give them a little bit more oomph, I suppose. But here I am just grabbing some more clutter for the desk, and I knew I wanted to have some magazines on the coffee table in here. Maybe they were some magazines that the Sims photography was shown off in, and I paired it with this coffee table from the Decor to the Max kit. This is one of my favorite coffee tables because if you imagine the top of the glass and the framing under the glass is like an oval instead of a rectangle, that's the coffee table I have in real life. So I'm just like, whoa, it's my furniture in the game. So I was excited to use that here, and I just felt like it matched the vibe that this apartment had. Anyway, over here, I'm trying to figure out what I want to have for the area where I'm going to have the TV. I knew I wanted to have like a slightly bigger TV, and I was thinking this rounded one would be nice for this area. And I actually ended up using the new modular pieces from the high school pack. I keep forgetting these exist, and they're really cool. So it's like nice to have another modular set other than the ones from Dream Home Decorator, so you can have a little bit of variety. And I just really feel like they fit the style of this apartment quite well. So putting those over here, and then I also got a chair in the corner for some additional seating and trying to figure out some sort of artwork to put on the wall up here. I tried a few different items and we get there in the end, but this build is all about showing you the whole process and everything I tried. Let me know if you prefer this sort of thing where I show more of the process, or when I cut out when things take too long. I'd be very interested to know. Obviously on very long builds, I'm going to have to cut things out regardless, but for shorter builds like this, do you prefer when I'm showing every moment of it like I did here? I didn't cut a single thing out. And so for me, it's a little bit embarrassing how much I spin the camera around, and, you know, especially the kitchen placement, how I went back and forth so many different times, but definitely interested to hear whatever feedback you might have for me on that, because I can show some more of the process if you would prefer, or I can go back to cutting things out. I just figured for this one it made sense to leave it all in. Anyway, I just grabbed another like ottoman to put under the hallway table, and then I'm shoving this bookcase into the wall a little bit so it doesn't take up so much space. And then over by the entryway, it is also right near the entrance to the bathroom, so I got like a linen cabinet as well as a coat rack. We're getting our temperature controls and our fire alarm, and then, oh, I forgot I also grabbed the umbrella stand. I always forget that that exists for some reason, but it's a nice little addition. And then moving on into the bathroom, I actually used a flooring that has the same shape as the wallpaper I'm using in here. That one's from Eco Lifestyle, and I just think it worked so beautifully together. And of course, using the same cabinetry and countertops that I used in the kitchen, getting a little sink in here and a couple of decorations. I kept it fairly simple. We just get some towels up here and I believe a plant as well. Yeah, this one from Dine Out. And then I actually ended up adding a lot of paintings to the wall because I decided this collage of paintings, which is one of my favorites in the game, just kind of looked nice here and filled up the space. And then just a little rug. And finally, we are moving on into the one and only bedroom in this space. I used these curtains throughout the apartment. They are from Dine Out, I'm pretty sure, as well. They're just really big, and it looks like you can sort of pull them across the windows, so that's what I went for here. And then I tried a couple of the different beds, but I ended up going with this one in the end that's more Art Deco inspired because the colors were just so spot on for what I was going for in this apartment. And I thought it was really pretty with all of the little stems all over it. And then I got some mismatched side tables. Just going through here, I got a circular one and a rectangular one and just filled those up with clutter. Not too much. I believe one has a lamp and some books and the other one just has a plant, but I like the asymmetrical look here for those. So just figuring that out now and going to find some books to put on the one that has the lamp. And I actually end up putting a really massive mirror over this bed, the one from the Decor to the Max kit. I just thought it was a bit of fun. It's a bit busy in here. I wouldn't blame you if you deleted that, but I thought it was a bit of fun. And I also got a TV in here. I know some people don't like TVs in bedrooms, but That's always been something that I enjoy because I need the sound of the television and the light of it to fall asleep. I don't want it to be loud, but it needs to be on. So yeah, I included that, and we just have a little dresser over here as well, and a little robe hanging up by the door. And that's pretty much it for this build. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Enjoy the screenshots. Bye, everyone.